There is the track that they will be racing on. 14 corners, including that very quick final corner 14. It is a stop-start and free-flowing track. Good crowd on hand to watch this 1000cc event. Also a 46-year-old wildcard in there, Huang Shijiao. That's good to see. I hope we'll keep an eye on him just to see how he copes, but no doubt our attention will be on the riders at the very, very top. Wheeling is down on the grid, and I think she's talking to Brock Parks.
Thank you, Des and Barry. So down here on the final grid of the day, the 1000cc. Brock, of course, this is very different. From the commentary room, share us, how are you looking forward to your first 1000 race here in Zhuhai?
Yeah, it was nice for the guys to invite me up this morning and watch the race from a different view. Yeah, for the race, now it's a little bit more windy, but you know the track temperature is still 60, so it's going to be quite a tough race, and for tyres and stuff, have to see what's going to happen towards the end of the race. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can all have a good race.
All right, thank you so much, Brock. Good luck for race 1. Starting alongside Brock Parks is Mohammad Zakwan Zaidi. So, Zakwan, you had a good pace all day throughout yesterday and also today. How are you looking forward to the first race?
Yeah, actually it's quite good for me, and also my second time in Zhuhai, but 7 years ago. And I very like this track also, so I will keep my pace. Also in the race, for sure I want to win, but I will try my best for my team and also my friend.
All right, try to stay cool, Zakwan, and good luck for the first race. Starting alongside Zakwan Zaidi is one of his rival in the championship as well, Aslan Shah Kamaruzaman. Aslan, so you've had experience racing here at Zhuhai International Circuit, but this time is your first time on the 1000. How are you looking forward to the first race?
I'm trying my best. A very long time I didn't come here to race, but everything was okay, and I feel good with the bike. I hope I will enjoy the race.
Thank you so much, Aslan. Good luck for your first race. And we have a full grandstand here cheering on all the 1000cc riders. So I'm going to throw it back to Des and Barry in the studio.
Thank you very much, Wheeling. Is there a cooler dude out there than Aslan Shah Kamruzaman? He's just about to get on a 1000cc bike in searing heat, 13 laps, and he is chilled as you like.
And sporting a brand new goatee, I notice. Yeah, he's a very laid-back character, and he's one of these professional riders I really like, because he really knows when to turn it on. And there's another great professional rider there, Yuki Ito, coming back from injury. He broke his ankle in Suzuka. Didn't stop him scoring a podium, 3rd position.
Hobbling away alongside him is Titipong Wadakorn from the Kawasaki, the first of the Kawasaki's. There's quite a variety of bikes on the 1000cc circuit. A Yamaha on pole, the Honda on Zakwan, the BMW of Aslan Shah, another Yamaha for Yuki Ito, and this the Kawasaki Ninja of Titipong. It's great for the manufacturers to get this kind of spread of competition.
It is absolutely, especially the BMWs coming in. Titipong, of course, had a career-threatening injury back in March, just after the Sepang first round, which he left as championship leader. Broke 6 vertebrae. He's not 100% fit. He's got a back specialist with him who's treating him in between sessions, but that's the measure of what a tough character he is. And this guy's no cream puff either. Happy Tananon for Yamaha Tyre and Racing Team.
Yeah, we caught up with him after the Suzuka 8 hours alongside with the person who's 7th, Ratapong Willarot, who's 7th on the grid, the Yamaha Tyre Racing colleagues. It's interesting to hear Brock Parks say that it's not as searingly hot as it was earlier in the day, but the umbrellas are up just to make sure that the heat is being kept off. A little bit further down, this is Ratapong Willarot for the Yamaha side. He hasn't had a podium, but he has had a 1/4 place, and he's regularly in the top 6 or 7 is Ratapong so far this season. Always a good competitor. And alongside him, we'll have the first of the wildcards, Mark Aitchison, interesting character, riding for YSS China, but the track record holder here.
Yeah, track record holder. They don't have, they have open regulations in China, so that it's not quite comparing apples with apples, but nevertheless, the 33.8 around here is quick on any machine. Of course, just a reminder, these machines, ASB1000, are basically run to super stock regulations with slick tyres and bigger radiators to cope with the heat.
Alongside Aitchison, the Australian racing for YSS China will be Wichit Nisakul from the Kawasaki tyre racing team, so the second of the Kawasaki's.
Yeah, his first season in international racing, pretty decent domestic racer back in Thailand, and thoroughly good guy, good wingman for Tingno. They're good friends.
Interesting way to keep yourself cool, the ice pack on the chest. The umbrellas and the cool drinks are available for the crowds and for the mere mortals of us who aren't going to be racing around the track for 13 laps. Then a little bit further down, Amadou Destira, Victor Racing Team, the Indonesian, is always going to be competitive. He'll always give it his best shot, Amadou Destira. Again, without a podium this year, that has got a 4th place to his name.
Yeah, no factory support for Victor Racing Team and Amadou Destira, so there's another rider who really has been performing out of his skin all season.
And then the wildcards continue. We've got Li Jiangpeng, probably the most famous of the wildcards for the Yamaha Manly Tat Racing Team. He is starting on P11. He was lapping at 135.794. That's very respectable. Only the top 5 were lapping in the 134s. As the vantage points for Zhuhai are taken by everybody. A reminder that in 13th place we've got a 46-year-old Huang Xijiao. This is Masahiro Shinjo in P12, the Japanese Speedmaster Racing on the Ninja. He's the first in the 136s. That's still average lap speed of 161 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, a decent rider with a lot of experience in the Japanese, the All Japan Series, and done a fair few Suzuka 8 hours as well. Quality rider.
This is Xijiao, 46 years of age. A lot fitter than many 26-year-olds. Lean and keen to be involved in this level of competition. Lapped 136.406 in 13th place, which is quicker than the fastest of the Ducatis. This is TJ Alberto on the Ducati Pringale, the young Filipino.
Yeah, and another very welcome manufacturer to the grid, the Ducatis. Very well supported team from the Philippines there.
Ali Adrianza Putro, who, if I recall well, had a decent performance. Oh no, he was just a new name. Atherna did not start. That's what marked him out in the second race at the NS, Putro. And then another of the wildcards, our first Canadian, Rob Krueger from the Titanic Kawasaki team, P16. Is Rob Krueger. Good to have him on the grid for the first time. An awful lot I can tell you. His lap time was 138.214, so he'll struggle to make it into the top 10.
Quite a seasoned street racer, Dan Krueger. He's done Macau Grand Prix, and he enjoys living and racing in China.
And then more the wildcards, Champeng Guan and Fernando Herdian on bike 48, and Jonathan Serapika on the second of the Ducatis. And Jonathan has been picking up points happily throughout the season. He's accumulated 24 points. He's finished all races bar one, which was race number 2 in Sepang. So even though he's low down, he's picking up points, picking up experience, and loving the ride.
Yeah, those V4 Panigales are fiercely fast when you can get them hooked up. They are quite difficult initially to set up. I know a few people who do race them, and they do struggle initially. They're not as easy as some of the Japanese bikes to set up, but my goodness, they are so fast when you do get them hooked up. Just got the detail about the tyres. The ambient temperature outside is 33 degrees. The track temperature is 56.
Ah, cool.
And yeah, and everybody is running, apart from Jonathan Serapika on that on the last of the Ducatis, is running with a soft rear, and there's a variety of hard and medium fronts being used by everybody else. Brock Parks on pole position is running a hard front. which you can see with the white band around it, and the soft rear, which you can see, which you can identify by the pink band that runs around the tyre.
Here are the starters in their positions on the grid. Brock Parks for the Yamaha racing team Asia on P1. Zakwan Zaidi and Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, the famous Malaysian duo 2 and 3. Yuki Ito, the Japanese, alongside Titipong and Apiwat Wongtanan, completing the first 2 rows of the grid. The Kawasaki of Titipong, the Yamaha of Apiwat, and Yuki Ito. On to row 3. Great riders right the way through. Ratapong Willerot on the Yamaha. Mark Aitchison, the lap record holder on the Yamaha for YSS China, the Aussie guesting here. Chai Wichit Nisakol on the Kawasaki Ninja, completing row 3. On row 4, Ahmed Judistira, big name. Li Zhengpeng, big name here in China. Masahiro Sinja on the Speedmaster Racing Team Kawasaki, he completes row number 4. Even down on row number 5, recognizable names. 46-year-old Xi Zhao alongside TJ Alberto and Ali Adriansa for in Indonesia. Dan Krueger, apologies for calling him Rob, Dan Krueger on the Kawasaki in P16 alongside Peng Wan, and Philando Herdian completing the front 6 rows, and all on his own in row 7 is Jonathan Sorapika. So we'll have the formation lap, gives us a just of a chance to see who's looking good, if anyone's looking a little bit wobbly, if any engine problems have accrued in the practice and warm-up.
Yeah, we were just touching on wildcards. It's notable, I think, in this series that ARRC always welcome wildcard riders. There are arguments against it that it disrupts the normal sort of running of the championship. And some championships don't allow wildcard riders to score points. However, positive approach by ARRC, they do allow them to score and hold points. And for the leaders, it's good to have some often good competition, as we've seen here in Japan, to mix it up. Practice record towards the front, as we saw in Suzuka. It helps bring the fans in as well, because they have their favourite riders from the domestic series. And for the riders who do mix it up with these top riders that we see in ARRC, it brings their game up a notch as well. So I think there's plenty of good reasons to welcome wildcards into this series, and I think it enriches the sport from all sorts of angles.
This is round 5 of 7 of the Asia Road Racing Championships. We're back in Zhuhai for the first time since 2012. We've still got to visit Sepang for a second time and Borang in Thailand for a second time as well. So we certainly see plenty of Asia. We've been to Suzuka in Japan, been to Adelaide in Australia already, so we are certainly packing up the air miles, and the riders are packing up the air miles. And good to see this track. The track has behaved very nicely. Oh, somebody got a problem? Is that a problem that we saw there? The Kawasaki of Chai Wichit, I think it was, held his hand up. Bike number 29. We'll have a little look on that, or whether he was just waving somebody through. And that's always a disconcerting sign on the warm-up lap.
Yeah, let's see what happens with him.
Yeah, incoming into the pit lane. So somebody is going to be operating from the pit lane, and it is Mark Aitchison. Oh, wow. There's a story for the YSS China, the man who holds the track record here. Will be starting, he hopes, from the pit. We've got our cameras in the pit lane just to see what is going on with Aitchison.
Hopefully he'll be okay, but there's 3 different manufacturers on the front row. We've got the Yamaha of Brock Pearson, Honda of Zakwan Zaidi, and the BMW of Aslan Shah Kamruzaman.
Right, so the numbers to look out for: 23, Parks, extreme right of your picture, Zakwan Zaidi in the middle, and the ever-amazing Aslan Shah Kamruzaman for the 1XOX in the green livery on the left of your screen. Yuki Ito will be trying to make a move as well. And we are underway. First of 13 laps, a great start from Aslan Shah. Zakwan pulls away as well. Brock Parks, bike 23, finds himself in a little bit of trouble. It's Zakwan Zaidi who leads the way, and the Malaysian on the Honda Asia Dream Racing with Showa got off to a terrific start there. Parks left standing.
Yeah, Zakwan's been quickest. He's had the best pace so far all weekend. Parks and Ito have been very close to him, and Aslan Shah, as you can see now, he's been increasing his speed through the weekend. Now he's looking very good on race day.
Titipong has made a move there as well. The tie for the Kawasaki racing team, bike number 100 into second, and Yuki Ito, he now comes into second place as well. So lots of movement in the opening 4 or 5 first corners, but it's Zakwan Zaidi who leads the way. Behind him you've got Ito, the Japanese, who's just having the bit of challenge to him, and behind them Brock Parks has settled into 4th place. Plenty of time, but a disconcerting start for the Aussie Championship leader.
Yeah, experienced campaigner that he is, he won't be too rattled by that. I think he'll take his time, see how the race shapes up.
Here it is on the right-hand side. He got off to a slowish start. In the meantime, Titipong came racing through from the middle of the second row, and Titipong got himself up into a very strong position, but it's Zakwan who leads from Ito, and Parks at the moment is in 6th place as they come into the final corner for the first time after 13 laps. There is the championship leader, bike 23, Brock Parks, at the moment in 6th place, 1.285 seconds down on Zakwan Zaidi. Apiwat Wangtan and Aslan Shah ahead of him as well. Amadou Stera has got himself up into P8, and Shi Zhao has got himself up into P10.
So the wildcard's still there. Li Jingpeng in 11th position, and they're all quite close at the moment. Zakwan Zaidi on that Honda. The Honda is performing above expectations too.
Mark Aitchison, who had a problem in the warm-up lap, has not gone through yet. I don't think he actually even started that lap, so that's a very frustrating time for Aitchison. No frustrations at the moment for Zakwan Zaidi. Early stages it may well be, but he's looked confident and he has the lead. He said he's going to just try and post quick lap times, with a lead of nearly half a second from Yuki Ito. Pulling too far away from this group as Apiwat makes a move on the inside. But it's a confident start. Aslan Shah forced to just ease up a little bit, and Apiwat bullies Aslan Shah. Aslan won't like that.
Talking to Zakwan last night, he himself was surprised at how competitive this Honda, which is an old bike actually, is against the Yamahas and the BMW and the Kawasaki's that famously have such brutal power.
Titipong in 3rd place, Ito in 2nd, the Japanese on the Yamaha. As they come round after lap 2, it is much the same as it was at the end of lap 1. Zakwan leads by 0.683 from Titipong, Apiwat, Aslan Shah and Parks. Parks 2 seconds off the drift. Amadou Stera still up there. Wang Shi Zhao, 46 years young, has got himself up to P9, and TJ Alberto on the first of the Ducatis into place number 11.
See that Ducati come up. They had made some changes. He told me this morning. He was optimistic about doing well.
There's Brock Parks, P6, settling in. We'll just get on the shoulder there of Apiwat. As we say, that there is a long way to go. It's 4.3 kilometers long, 13 laps, so plenty of time.
Oh, down goes Aslan.
Aslan Shah Kamruzaman just lost the front end. And that will be no championship points for today for Aslan Shah.
There are slippy points on this circuit, and he just found one of them. There's a lot of car track days and things done here. The rubber that they leave goes down into the tarmac, and this heat bubbles it back up and makes it slippery.
Sometimes once you're committed into the corner, there's nothing you can do if you just get the slightest loss of traction.
Yeah, he knew that was going well before he hit the ground.
So it's more pride hurt than anything else for Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. It means, though, that Brock Parks is able to move up to P number 5, and he can get onto the tail of Apiwat. Zakwan still leads ahead of Ito and Titipong. Apiwat 2 seconds down, Parks 2.7 seconds down on Zakwan Zaidi. But there's the first 5 behind them. Chai Wichit and Amadou Stera. Li Jingpeng has overtaken Shi Zhao, so the best of the wildcards is now up into P8.
Yeah, we've seen quite a lot of Apiwat and Brock Parks running together. Apiwat, the sort of younger, less experienced superbike racer, against the very experienced Brock Parks. Apiwak has shown himself able to put a good race together. First part of the season, he's qualifying well, starting well, but drifting back. But he's pretty good for the whole length of the race now.
Parks closes up onto the back wheel of Apiwak Montana. So there'll be individual battles going on. Zakwan, he was feeling the pressure there from Yuki Ito, put a burst of acceleration on through the inside. Titipong has a little look through Yuki Ito. I think he's managed to find his way through as we go down the track. That's Li Zhengpeng, the best of the wild cards. He's up into 7th place behind Yudhishthira, sorry, 8th place behind Yudhishthira in 7th place. And there he is, his average lap time is into the high 135s. So a very creditable performance for Li Zhengpeng.
Yeah, very good indeed. Just looking here at
Zhengpeng, and behind Zhengpeng, Xi Zhao, our 46-year-old friend.
There he goes, number 90.
He'll know this track like the back of his hand.
He won't be feeling 46 years old at the moment.
Loving the racing at the moment. As they come through a little wobble, that's a tough moment for Masahiro Shinjo. But it's Zakwan who leads by half a second from Ito and Titipong. Parks up in 5th place, not making any headway, Brock Parks. As we look at Ratapong Willarat. Ratapong is currently in P11 in a battle with TJ Alberto and Masahiro Shinjo for P10. Back up to the top, and Zakwan, how's he riding as you're seeing it, Barry Russell?
Nice and smooth. He seems ideally suited to that Honda. He rides, it's a sweet handling machine. He rides it really smoothly. It looks like he's about to get gobbled up now, maybe. But he'll be very easy on his tyres. He's running at the front. So as the race wears on, that could be good for Zakwan. He's running a medium front. The Yamahas are running hard fronts. So yeah, the Yamaha that is chasing him with Yuki Ito's on a hard front, and the Kawasaki, I'm guessing, has a hard too. Just like Daniel, that's got a hard front too. They're all running soft rears.
He's putting a lot of confidence in the tyres as Zakwan keeps a nice tight line. Ito putting pressure. Zakwan and Ito have been racing competitively against each other for the best part of a decade now. Zakwan still a relatively young man at 23. Zakwan leads the way. That's Brock Parks back 23. He's in P5. He's pulled up just a little bit. He's pulled half a second closer onto the leader. So maybe Parks is pressuring Apiwak, and we could have a 5-man race for the podium.
Parks is good at planning a race. He doesn't panic too early. He knows exactly how long he's got to go. He's of course an endurance racing exponent.
1.3 seconds the deficit between Titipong on bike number 100 in P3, that's in the green livery, and Apiwak behind him. But they're all lapping around about the same, 134.58. Park's last one, 134.56. So he will just close the gap a little bit, lap by lap. We've got 7.5 laps to go, barely over a third of the way through this race. But Zakwan side leads from Ito.
Zakwan did have the slowest of the last laps as well, actually. He's half a second slower than most of the people chasing him.
There's got to be some consolidation in there. If you can't race away from people, you just need to make sure that your energy isn't bursting. Just give a nice steady line.
Yeah, so he's a very experienced racer. It seems like he's been around forever. I think he said he'd been here in 2012.
He did, yes.
So when he was not very old, 16 years old.
Aslan Shah Kamrizarman is the main casualty. He's still racing, but he's more than a minute and a half down. He slid off the track, so he's just making sure that the bike is in good nick ahead of tomorrow. We've got an opportunity here. Jonathan Serapika may well be gobbled up. That is bike number 48 is about to be lapped by the race leaders. Don't let that confuse you. So Serapika needs to get out of the racing line. Zakwan goes on the inside immediately. The Ducati stays wisely out of the way, although he holds up a little bit there, Yuki Ito, and Zakwan has taken advantage of that little bit of confusion surrounding Jonathan Serapika.
Yeah, he would do. So he's got a little bit of a gap there. Let's see what Yuki Ito can do about that. And Brock Parks has got past Apiwak Montananon for P4. No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
He made a move.
Yes, he has.
Yes, he has.
Parks is through to 4th now. And of course, the misfortune of Aslan Shah helps his championship chances. Zakwan was lying 3rd in the championship, so that's good for his championship positioning as well.
Apiwat was 4th on 97 points, Ito 5th on 95. So Ito will be looking just to try and get close. Brock Parks is leading the championships by 27 points, and the consistency of the experienced Aussie suggests that he's expecting and good enough to go on and win this title, but there's still 6 races to go. An awful lot can happen in 6 races. 23 is Mike of Brock Parks, who is currently in P4. Let's see what the gap between the race leader Zakwan as he goes through now and Parks in P4 is. It's 2 seconds, so Zakwan has just maintained the lead, which has been around about 2 seconds for the last 2 laps.
Yeah, and he's not under any immediate threat. So he's got a lead of a second over Yuki Ito. So interesting. Parks will try to work his way up. That's Aslan Shah.
Aslan Shah decides, he knows that that was his own mistake. Head in hands, good or not, it still hurts when you go out.
Definitely, yeah, that is definitely a trudge. He's making his way back into the pit box.
All you can do is literally dust yourself down, get your good sleep, night sleep, and get yourself ready. Here's Titipong, best lap, 134.585. Only he and Brock Parks have broken the 135 barrier. Brock Parks did that in his last lap, so Parks is beginning to make a little bit of a move on the 3 ahead of him.
Yeah, I can't say how impressed I am with Titipong Morakon coming back from that injury, which it was speculated at one point we wouldn't be seeing him on a race bike again. 6 vertebrae done for. And that horrible crash he had as a World Superbike wildcard when he was hit by Leon Camia.
There is Parks, best lap of the race so far, 134.561. We had the benefit of Brock Parks in the commentary box earlier on today. Very relaxed, interested man. He was loving the underbone, but he was shying away a little bit from the contact sport that underbone is. Here, he's very much in the running, although he's lost 0.1 of a second on Zakwan Zaidi there. He had a big last lap, but Zakwan has posted an even quicker lap of 134.603 in response.
Yeah, Zakwan's putting the hammer down. It's a very good lap for him. 5 laps to go. We're way beyond halfway now, and Zakwan really took advantage of that confusion surrounding Jonathan Serapika, and his lead is 1.37 over Yuki Ito. That's the biggest lead that we've had at the end of any individual lap. Yeah, it is. So that was a very clever couple of laps by Zakwan.
Brock Parks right now up on the tail of Titipong as Apiwat Wongtalon goes through in P5, Amadou Lister in P6, and that lead looks to be increasing for Zakwan.
Yes, it does. Let's see what Brock Parks can do. He's still having a look. Kawasaki and Titipong in front of him. Titipong's showing no sign of what the injuries he's been recovering from.
Zakwan was on P2 when it came to qualification. He took the lead on the first lap. He had a really good start. He has not been overtaken since. This has been an impressive race so far by Zakwan Zaidi, but there is still a long way to go. There's still best part of 50 corners to negotiate as he comes into the final corner. After this straight, it'll be 4 laps to go. Ito second, Titipong third, Parks fourth. What is the gap? It's still 2 seconds. Zakwan is still lapping. He's broken 135 for the first time, Zakwan Zaidi, a 134.949.
Parks isn't really close enough to challenge for 3rd place at the moment. He'll be very well aware that Zakwan will do his championship lead a bit of damage by if they maintain these positions. So Parks will be keen to make these last few laps count.
Further down, that's Xi Zhao, the 46-year-old in P9, dueling with Li Zhengpeng, who's the best of the wildcards. This is back up to the front of the race. This is where the action is likely to take place if they can get closer to Zakwan Zaidi, who's got a 1.5 second lead over Yuki Ito. Ito very conscious of Titipong Morakon behind him. Titipong conscious of Brock Parks behind him.
Yeah, so I think this fight for second place is probably doing Zakwan a bit of good.
Well, you focus on the man behind you, the man ahead of you can just get a little bit further away. Apiwat, bike number 24. He's too far away, the Yamaha Thai racing rider. Ito, Titipong. Quite right, Brock Parks hasn't been able to get really close enough to make a move as they come down this very fast final corner. Nice tight line from them all. Zakwan leads by 1.6 seconds. The lead is growing ahead of them all. He lapped there 1:34.729. That's his fastest lap.
Yeah, he's the fastest man on track, and he's got a lead, and the battle for second playing into his hands. So he will be making a dent in Brock Parks' title lead if things stay like this, and if Parks can't do anything about Titipong and Ito in front of him.
Further down, Amadou Destira is in P6, the best of the wildcards. Li Jiangpeng in 8th ahead of Pang Shizhao. Ratapong in 10th, TJ Alberto in 12th, Dan Krueger 14th, Peng Wan in 15th. In fact, Dan Krueger may well have dropped out as a move is being made there. Titipong had a look on the inside of Yuki Ito. Ito, very aware of the move, beginning to realise the time is running out now, is Titipong. If he is to make a move, it needs to come relatively soon.
Yeah, both those riders recovering from injuries. Brock Parks still having a look. Definitely don't count him out yet.
Got himself closer now to Titipong than he has been on previous laps. Can he get close enough to get into the slipstream and take a little bit of benefit? He goes wide, does Parks, but Titipong able to get down on the gas and re-establish that half-second lead as Zakwan Zaidi comes in. It's been a really measured performance from Zakwan Zaidi. He's led from the first corner to here, and now there are 2 laps to go for Zakwan. But the lead has been reduced by half a second in that last lap. It was 1.7, now 1.23 for Yuki Ito. Is Zakwan running out of steam, or is he just making sure that he's not going to make any mistakes?
Yeah, he was about 0.7 slower that lap than he was on the previous one. So doesn't mean to ease off too much, because Yuki Ito can smell his exhaust fumes now.
Certainly can, and Titipong is there. Brock Parks has closed within 1.8 seconds. Apiwat and Amadou Destira 5th and 6th. Chai Wichet 7th. Jiangpeng in 8th. Sarapika and Aslan Shah are casualties. So Titipong loses a little bit of grip there, and that'll just enable Ito to pull away from him. 1.5 laps to go. Brock Parks will be looking for a podium position. Be looking just to put the pressure on Titipong. What a corner.
The characteristics of those bikes and the way they deliver the power does mean that the Kawasaki is probably harder on the tyres than the Yamaha, so that could be what's making Titipong look a bit untidy at the moment, as we saw as he went through that right-hander.
Parks, though, doesn't have the straight line speed. That's where Titipong is able to pull away. As Zakwan comes through onto the last lap, another back marker there to complicate issues. No complication. Zakwan sweeps past him. A lead, though, is less than a second. Ito has pulled up as close as he has been. Ito, though, might get caught up with the back markers. Titipong is there. Brock Parks also there. Parks, though, has dropped off the pace. Zakwan leads by a second. Zakwan Zadi's race to lose.
Yeah, Titipong a little bit held up there as he went through, but Parks wasn't able to take any advantage of that.
Ito gets low. He's got to within a second, but Zakwan Zaidi surely just has to avoid making mistakes. Maybe up the pace once again. Zakwan Zaidi. Concerned looks on the pit lane, but it's been a consummately professional performance from Zakwan. As you said, surprised how well the Honda is handling. It is handled magnificently out there today.
Yeah, and no apparent power disadvantage, which was what most of us suspected, including Zakwan himself.
Zakwan still leads the way. This is Brock Parks, though, the championship leader. Has he left it too late to make a move on Titipong? Zakwan, any worries, I think, that he was going to lose a 1 second advantage have dissipated. Parks has been on the tail of Titipong. It might be too much for Brock Parks unless he can get closer. Zakwan pulls away, good straight line speed ahead of Ito. Barring catastrophe, this will be our 1-2-3 as he comes into the final corner. Zakwan Zaidi has led from first corner to last to win here at Zhuhai. Second, Ito. Third, Titipong ahead of Brock Parks. That is a fabulous performance from Malaysia's Zakwan Zaidi.
That was very close on the line between Titipong and Parks. Brock got a really good drive. In fact, he got a really good drive out of the previous corner and set himself up really well for that last one. But he was just a few hundredths behind Titipong as they flashed across the line.
Li Zhengpeng, the best of the wildcards ahead of Chai Wichit. He's just edged it on the line as well. Xi Zhao, 46 years of age, and a very good 9th place for him ahead of Ratapong Guilarat. Shinjo will come in 11th, but this is our race winner. Best lap, 1:34.603 from the very first corner where he got into the lead right the way to the end. He did have a lead at one stage of 1.7 seconds. The final winning advantage, 0.885. Terrific.
Absolutely, and we've just seen the very best of Zakwan Zaidi. Smooth, controlled, cool-headed. He did everything right in that race, and even when he backed off the pace a little bit towards the end, he still remained in control. Yuki Ito, despite his aggression and the big heart that he always shows, wasn't able to get close enough. And Titipong Morakorn just shaking hands there with Zakwan. He will. I know he's got fans all over watching on big screens in Thailand because he really is a national hero there, especially after this comeback from injury. So if those guys are listening, they know how happy that everybody is about that back in Thailand.
Did not finish though for Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. A maximum 25 points for Zakwan Zaidi. It means that Zakwan will leapfrog Aslan Shah Kamruzaman in the overall standings. And Ito, best result of the season for him. It's his 5th podium. For the first time, he's got better than 3rd for him. And Titipong Guadakorn, as you rightly say, what a recovery after injury for Titipong. He comes 3rd. Further down, Xi Zhao, what a performance from the 46-year-old. Makes you feel young again, Barry Russell, if you can come in 9th at the age of 46. Shinjo, TJ Alberto, 48 seconds adrift. Dan Krueger did finish and will pick up 2 points for there. No points, though, for Aslan Shah, Philando Herdium, and a nightmare for Mark Aitchison, who didn't even, well, he got himself going, but didn't even complete a single lap.
Yeah, it's a beautifully prepared machine, that one, the YSS Honda that Aitchison's on. We just look at Zakwan being congratulated by Makoto Tamada himself, a Honda Grand Prix racing legend. Very happy with that. That's a beautiful victory. His previous victory in Sepang was done in the wet, which you kind of say, well, that's okay because it's you don't need so much power in the wet, so that plays into the hands of a good rider on a Honda. But he's done it in dry, baking hot conditions today on a fast track. So that shows you how good a rider Zakwan is, and it shows you how well prepared that machine actually is.
For Titipong Guilarat, let's just mention him. He's only completed 3 races. He's picked up a podium on each one. As you say, after back-to-back 2nd place in Sepang, he missed Adelaide, Buriram, Suzuka. Now back with a podium. Brilliant.
Yeah, that he left Sepang as the championship leader. A week later, he had that nightmare crash at Buriram. He's recently done 2 comeback races in the national championship in Thailand and won both of them. So he's been working on his race fitness too, and he has a back specialist with him today who's treating him between races. So fantastic result for him. You can see how happy the team are. Yeah.
3rd place. Terrific.
I saw him in hospital a week after he was injured, and he was a mess then. But he still managed to smile.
Well, he's not a mess now. He's in fine fettle. Looks full of beans, full of vim, full of vigour. Picked himself up a 3rd place. But the race winner, Zakwan Zaidi, had a terrific start. Was never led after leading into the first corner. Started on P2. Plenty of handshakes going. I think there's a lot of admiration down there on the pit lane. And Wheeling hopefully is able to talk to the top 3, including Titipong Guadakorn.
All right, down here in Park Fome, I guess we're going to start with the second place finisher, Yuki Ito. Yuki, share with us how was the first race today?
Yeah, very tough today because very hot now in China. Maybe hotter than Japan now. So I try push but Zakwan little bit faster than me. So I try to catch us, but finally second. And I'm so happy because team is hard work this weekend. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Yuki. And coming in third place is Titifong Warakon. Think not hanging there a little while. Congratulations on your return to the ASB1000, and you return with a podium finish for Kawasaki Thailand Racing Team today.
Yeah, I thank you for the team a lot and think not come back. But thank you for fans in Thailand. Today really funny, but in the late I have some mistake a little bit in the second podium and first podium it go wide and I put again. But today me very happy. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณมากครับ
All right, congratulations, Tingna. And today's race winner picking up his second win in the 1000cc class is Mohammad Zakwan Zaidi. Congratulations, Zakwan. You obviously managed your consistency here in throughout the 13 laps race. Share with us, how was it?
Yeah, it's actually pretty tough to handle it because I'm in front, so I have to control the pace and also don't make any mistake. But finally, I saw the lap board coming gap, and then I coming more confident to push. And then until final lap, I'm so happy that I win because maybe three round, 2 rounds. I missed the win, but finally I win. So I want to thanks to all my team, to my fan, also to my sponsor. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Zakwan. We'll see all 3 riders on the podium.
You forget how young Zakwan Zaidi is. He's still young, early 20s, 23 years of age. And that's a mature interview. It's a mature ride. And he is still a genuine championship contender, just 23 points behind leader Brock Parks. Let's have a look at the highlights of how he actually went on to win that. And it all came from the start. He started on P2, as Yuki Ito was part of the excitement as well. Big crowd on hand here. But Zakwan Zaidi started on P2, but from the first corner, he was sharp, he was off the mark quickly, and he led into the first corner by Russell.
Yep, and he's been on form like that all weekend. He was fastest in every free practice session yesterday, and he went very well in qualifying this morning. So he's the man that's had the pace all the way through on that Honda.
Brock Parks, though, got off to a slow start and never genuinely recovered. Here he is down in P6 on bike number 23. And although he got himself up into P4 and had a shot at a podium place on the last lap, he was never really in contention. What wasn't quite right with Brock today?
It's really difficult to say. The quality of the riders around him is also very high. Don't quite know what was happening with that Yamaha. We'll hear it from Brock, I'm sure, and report it later. But everything clearly not 100%, but Titipong in front of him.
Yeah, Titipong on bike number 100. And I know you've taken a personal interest in this. After his accident, you went to see him in hospital, and his career was potentially over, Titipong.
Yeah, it was speculated. Not that long ago, within the last 2 months, it was speculated, but we're so happy to see him back, and there are literally thousands of people watching on big screens in Thailand. So big shout to them. They're going to be really happy. And he managed to hold off by a 1/10 of a second or something. He managed to hold off a really strong charge by Brock Parks when it came to the finish line.
And at various times he was having a pop at Yuki Ito in second place. Here he has a look down the inside, and you felt if he was able to get in front of Yuki, he would have been very difficult to knock off second spot. Instead, though, Ito recovered. Zakwan Zaidi, meanwhile, was serenely going on, and as he said in his interview, growing in confidence lap by lap.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful performance by Zakwan. He does a lot of racing, like you said, Des. He's only 23 now, but he races almost every weekend. He still races underbones in Malaysia, and he races in the All Japan series, in Superbikes. So he does a lot of he's got a lot of mileage.
And just to show you how quick the top guys are, they lapped a couple of other riders in just a 13-lap race. So Zakwan Zaidi leading by example, leading the way, and genuinely a championship contender now. This victory, his second of the season, moved him to within 23 points of Brock Parks. But as you say, Brock Parks very close to picking up a second place, but Titipang, see how happy he was to hold on to P3.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, to have a podium come back at this level, fantastic.
Barry Russell with the analysis of what's been going on today. We've had some terrific racing, some excellent stories. Titipong in particular is a great story, but our focus will be on Zakwan Zaidi. Let's go down to the podium where Hui Ling will be master of ceremonies.
We'll begin the podium ceremony for the ASB1000 Race 1. Coming in third place today, Titipong Warakon from Kawasaki Thailand Racing Team. Okay, once again, Titipong Warakon from Kawasaki Thailand Racing Team. In second place, Yuki Ito from Yamaha Racing Team ASEAN. And today's race winner, Mohammad Zakwan Zaidi from Honda Asia Dream Racing with Showa. We also like to invite a team manager of Honda Asia Dream Racing with Showa to join the riders on the podium. And we will now stand for the national anthem of Malaysia. I would now like to invite Mr. Ron Hawk, the Promotions Director of Two Wheels Motor Racing, to present the riders with the trophies. Coming in third place today from Thailand, Titipong Warakon. In second place from Japan, Yuki Ito. And today's race winner from Malaysia, Mohammad Zakwan Zaidi. And today's best team award goes to Honda Asia Dream Racing with Showa.
Thanks very much to Ron Hogg, the Promotions Director of Two Wheel Motor Racing, for handing out the prizes. Fellow Malaysian Zakwan Zaidi led from first corner to the checkered flag to take the victory. Yuki Ito, a very good performance for him, his best of the season. And Titipong back from injury. So thrilled for him to be on the podium in third place. What this means for the championship standings is that Brock Parks, who came fourth, still leads the way, but the gap has been cut to 23 points. Zakwan Zaidi leapfrogs Aslan Shah Kamrazanan, who went out. Yuki Ito moves up into the top four. Barry Russell alongside me in the commentary box today. Brock Parks earlier on. Thoughts of this 1000cc championship and the return to Zhuhai very quickly?
Yeah, the return to Zhuhai has been terrific. You can see on the podium there, Malaysian, Japanese, Thai, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki. This is the first season for ASB1000 and it's really healthy. You're really seeing some great riders and some beautifully prepared machines and some fantastic racing.
Also the Ducati of TJ Alberto, 48 points accrued by him. Titipong moves up into 9th place with that return from injury victory. He's had 2 seconds and a third now. Terrific from him. So, our return to Zhuhai, day number 1 is complete. We do hope you've enjoyed it very much. The track has behaved impeccably. The racing has been fabulous, particularly the Supersport 600cc. That was a race to end all races. The top 3 separated by 0.2 of a second. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage from Zhuhai. We're back with you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Hong Kong time, once again from Barry Russell, Brock Parks, myself, and the team behind the scenes bringing you these pictures. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow. This is the Asia Road Racing Championships, round 5 from Zhuhai in China.